he is. Yeah. Alex, how are you, bro? You okay?
I'm doing well, feeling good, and love to meet everybody that's here to support us. It's a pleasure to be here, so yes, I'm doing good.
Amazing. So, yeah, we just want to let the audience know a little brief about what you do, who you are, you know, and yeah, so start off where you're from.
Of course, my name's Alex Murdock. To start with where I'm from, I'm actually from Jamaica. So I am Jamaican. I am a writer. Primarily, my first creation was to do poetry. So for a long time, I was a poet. And over the years, I've sort of grown to veer into different forms of creativity. So now I write stories, and I've had the chance to create my own platform, doing podcasting, and just giving other people voice, and hearing their stories, listening to innovators, and people just sort of kind of created a lane for themselves like I did, and just giving their inspiration back to other people through me facilitating their expression and showing people, you know, what they can do, sort of thing. Yeah, so that's what's been like so far.
Ah, that's amazing. Like, you did mention and touch on like the inspirations. What's your inspirations?
My inspiration, I've always...
are your inspirations? Be either or any one of the two, like, well, yeah, go on. Which one?
Well, in terms of inspiration, for me, I try my best to always be candid and honest with especially my poetry, you know, because I started with poetry. But I wanted to really learn about myself from a young age. So it turned me into somebody that really have to find answers.
You're a deep person, yeah, you're a deep thinker. Because all you poets, like, you lot dig deep, boy. You go into a man's soul. Like, I'm like, whoa, calm down, bro. You touched the wrong part. But no, for real. So when did you think, like, you know, like, when did you feel like you wanted to be a poet? Or what made you even want to be a poet? Don't tell me Tupac, but go on. Yeah,
no, it wasn't Tupac. I think for me, when I was a child, I wasn't the most outspoken person.
Right.
I think my way was, you know, I sat down, I would think about everything. And just in hindsight now, as a grown man, I realized all those times in my early years, I was literally just out there just observing. And I think the biggest thing I used to do, I didn't realize, I was studying people. I was studying my environment.
Don't overwatch me now. Studying, that's a bit scary. No, I'm joking. No, so are you telling me you used to write your little,
no,
you had your notebook and that, so everything that you do, you'll literally note it down.
No, there's a reason why I said that. So what I'm saying is, the point is that when I first started writing, was just around 13, early teenage years.
Right.
All those understanding that I learned in my early years, it all came back to me.
Right.
I started to piece it back together.
Okay, cool.
And that's when I really started to write poetry.
Oh, and you was 13 at that point?
Around 13, yeah.
That's very young. That's good though, man. So,
yeah.
Did you grow up in London or UK? Or
both. Mostly London, because I've been here since I was 10.
Okay.
But I was born in Jamaica.
Okay. How long was you in Jamaica for?
First 10 years.
Oh, so you came here a bit later on then, innit? So you remember like a lot. Do you remember your time in Jamaica?
I'll never forget, man. You can't. It's my...
Whereabouts in Jamaica? Kingston?
No.
They all say, innit?
That's what they all say, yes. Yeah. Or Spanish Town.
Oh, Spanish Town,
yeah. But no, my one is more... I grew up in the country.
Okay.
But primarily Clarendon.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I heard of Clarendon. Yeah, that's okay. So, do you feel like all those experiences while you're there, do you put them into your poetry as well? Like, do you integrate it into when you're writing?
Absolutely. I think for me, those were sort of the foundation of who I am. So I don't necessarily have to think about doing it. It just is, you know. I just do it because those were the foundation of my being. So it comes naturally to me.
Okay, cool. So when you came here, was it like it was you? Got any siblings, or is this you?
No, single on my mother's side, which is primarily Kira. When I came over here.
Don't tell me Dad's got like 10 kids and that.
Not 10, but he's got a few. He's got a few.
Nah, I'm joking. But, nah, but that's alright. So what on the Dad's side? How many would you say?
About 4.
So it's not like okay.
Not too extreme, no, but yeah.
For a black family, that's quite small. That is quite small. But no, but away from that, yeah. So when you did actually sit down and say, right, I want to write my book, like to stay. So obviously you started with poetry.
Yeah.
At 13, and then over the years, when did you decide to actually write your first book or your book?
When I was, this was 2019, was the first time I ever published a book.
Okay.
So a lot of years that I spent, it was just necessarily developing. Ultimately, the situation was, I think, you know, it's something with most poets or perhaps creatives.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily see our value.
Yeah.
So yes, I did start writing poetry from an early age. But that was my thing, you get what I mean? That was my hobby, that was what kept me going.
Yeah, so when did you decide to say, do you know what, I'm going to turn this into a book, or this can actually go to that stage where it's actually different?
Well, that's what I was saying. So that was around, when I was around, just before a year or 2 years before 2019, which is when I officially published the book. When I started to look at my work and I understood that, you know what, I started to understand my value, which was around 25. When I was 25, around that period, I started to see the value in my work. And then leading up to that, which is when I was around 28, 29, which is around the time I published the book.
What was the book about, your book that you published, the first one?
It's a combination of different things I was experiencing. It was questions, it was answers, it was experience, it was poetry, it was heartbreak. It was a lot of different things that I went through. And I suppose it was me taking myself on a journey, but also healing at the same time.
So is it like an autobiography or like a fictional kind of like, you know what I'm saying? You're out there just talking everything else.
You could say that as well, because as much as it is honest and it's real, certain things you can't necessarily say in a factual narrative.
Yeah.
Sometimes you inject a state of mysticism, you know, just to paint this idea, and then in the end, people get it. You take them on the journey, and then in the end, it's okay. So that's what I was going through. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, 100%,
sort of thing.
100%. You're still young though, man. So it's like, what's your kind of, how are you looking at the future in terms of like, do you wanna remain an author, or do you wanna continue to be like a poet, or do you wanna, you know, because you guys are ghostwriters as well, innit? Like a lot of poets actually turn into being a ghostwriter, yeah. So do you wanna like kind of hit on that kind of angle, or is it just strictly writing books?
My thing is, I don't believe in limitations. So if that's where the journey takes me, I'm open to it, but I don't necessarily veer away from who I am and what I do, which is ultimately to write books and create. But there might be some situations to create music. I'm in the process of doing things like that right now. So the future is bright, but I'm veering towards developing myself at the moment when it comes to stories.
So do you want to give us a little kind of like preview of something that you might, you know, maybe where's your next angle in terms of what do you want to write about, or do you want to keep it about like self-love and like experience in the future kind of thing, or do you want to like flip it around and change it? And Yeah, do something completely different. Like,
well,
I can see you doing an action thingy book. Like, I swear to God, because I spoke to him outside before, and he just seemed like vibrant. Right now, he's a bit scared, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe you lot are making him nervous, but I can see him now. I can see him doing something like that. So, would you ever take it to that, like Dragon Ball Z? I love Dragon Ball Z, mate. But would you ever take it to them kind of like anime, or would you keep it strictly?
I wouldn't veer away from it if it comes to it, but my thing is, outside of poetry, I do crime thriller books. Oh, so those are what the stories are about.
You see what I'm saying? you lot see what I'm saying now? Because I saw that in it, and I was just like, yo, yeah. But yeah, so yeah. Talk a little bit about that before you go, like the crime thriller books.
Yeah, so that's like the first time I sort of kind of tipped my toe into stories. And of course, coming from poetry, you know, there's an injection of romance in it, but it's primarily crime thriller. And the story was called Into the Abyss, and it was somewhat the main character was Cain, and he somewhat is in a situation where things are just happening to him, and he don't know what was going on or to explain it, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But the one thing was happening was his family was always in danger. His best friend is in a coma, etc. Things were coming apart, sort of thing. And
be like Batman.
Be like Batman.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, but essentially he has to sort of kind of figure out the situation before things get a bit on the deadlier side, to save himself and save his family, sort of thing.
Okay, so where can the audience and speak to them? Tell them, where can they find your book? Where can they find your work?
Yeah, my work is on Amazon primarily. I do have my own website.
He's on Amazon as well, guys. You better check that out. Pay that £5.
I do have my own website, and most people find me on Instagram as well. So yeah, that's at the Mad Poet. It's just my Instagram, and I do spell the poet part is a little bit tricky. I use a 3 as opposed to an E, so the Mad Poet. Yeah, so that's how you can find me. But yeah, Amazon is always easy.
Definitely, man. Guys, give him a massive round of applause, please, for Alex.